proceed directly outside. Please do not attempt to re-enter the building until told that it is safe to do so.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Judith Gilroy, and I'm delighted today to welcome you to this RCSI conferring ceremony here at the wonderful Convention Centre. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. The academic procession is lining up outside. But just before we do, I have a couple of minor announcements to make before we get started. The first one is that today is a great day of celebration. We in RCSI are all immensely proud of everything that our graduates have achieved. So if you want to cheer and whoop and holler and clap as your family member comes up on stage, then feel free, because that's how we feel about the graduates here in the room today. The second thing really I wanted to address is just to our graduates. In the ceremony, you'll be invited to read a declaration by the Dean of the faculty, and that will be with your head of school. The declaration is listed on page 10 or page 11, depending on what school you're conferring from. So if you just take a minute to locate that in the booklet. And for all of us listening here in the Convention Centre or watching on live stream, it's really impressive when you say it out loudly and proudly. So that's what we're asking of you. One final thing before we give you your parchment. When it gets to that point, please speak up. Obviously, we won't be able to not give you your parchment if you stay silent, but it adds a bit of spice to the ceremony if you would. Thank you. Once you're called, then the staff here, both the Convention Centre staff and our own RCSI staff, will help you to come out of the sides of the rows, make your way up to the stairs, and then we'll assist you in coming up. Once your name is called, come to the centre of the stage and you'll get a chance to be given your parchment by Dr. Maurice Manning, who's the Chancellor of the NUI, and Mr. Ken Mealy, who's the President of RCSI. Take the parchment, pause in the centre, smile at the camera, which will be standing in front of you, and then you exit on my right, which is your left at the minute as you walk up. Don't worry, you can't get it wrong. There are lots of people around who'll assist and make sure that you get your parchment safely and come back down the other side. We are live streaming the event today, so hopefully that will help some people who maybe couldn't make it here today. Just remember that. What does that mean? Maybe switch your phones to silent. We know you're going to take lots of pictures and videos and post them to whatever sites you want to, but just make sure that it's on silent at the minute, because it is quite off-putting if everybody's phone beeps and rings as we go out throughout the ceremony. Probably in a couple of minutes, I'm just looking, and normally there's a signal to the side that says they're ready. They're not quite ready. No, that's not the academic procession. So just chat amongst yourselves for another few minutes and then we'll get started. And most of all, enjoy your day. Thank you very much. please be upstanding for the procession. Thank you.
Please be seated. Chancellor, President, Registrar, Dean, heads of school, faculty, ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome to the conferring ceremonies this afternoon. Before declaring open the ceremonies of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland and the National University of Ireland, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce the platform party. The table to the front of the stage, from your right, is Dr. Maurice Manning, Chancellor of the National University of Ireland. Beside him, Mr. Kenneth Mealy, President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. At the next row on the stage, again from your right, Dr. Attracta Halpin, Registrar of the National University of Ireland. Dr. Matthew Lynch, National Pharmacy Intern Programme Director from the School of Pharmacy and Biomolecular Sciences at RCSI. Dr. Elaine Byrne, Interim Academic Director at the Institute of Leadership of RCSI, Ms. Sarah McDonnell, Executive Director of the Institute of Leadership of RCSI, Ms. Judith Gilroy, Associate Director for Academic Affairs at RCSI, Ms. Orla Keegan, Head of Education, Research and Bereavement Services of the Irish Hospice Foundation, Mr. Ewan Friel, Managing Director of Healthcare Management at RCSI, Ms. Joanne Kazan, President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland, Professor Tracy Robson, Head of the School of Pharmacy and Biomolecular Sciences at RCSI, Dr. David Ansell, Honorary Doctorate recipient, Professor Hannah McGee, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI, and my name is Cathal Kelly, Chief Executive of RCSI. RCSI degrees are under Irish legislation, are also degrees of the National University of Ireland. I'd now like to invite our graduates to stand as I call on the Registrar of the National University of Ireland to formally open the ceremonies. If our graduates could all stand.
Universitas Hiberniae Nationalis. Pre honorabilis cancellariae, totaque universitas, hic comitia universitaria, hodie convocata sunt, ut he mulieres maxime eximiae, et he viri maxime eximii, ad gradus academicus admittantur. This is a meeting of the National University of Ireland for the purpose of conferring degrees and diplomas. The graduands will be presented by Professor Cathal Kelly, Chief Executive and Registrar of RCSI, and the degrees and other qualifications will be conferred by Dr. Maurice Manning, Chancellor of the National University of Ireland.
This is a meeting of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland for the purpose of conferring degrees and licentiates. I will present the graduates as my role as Registrar of RCSI, and the degrees will be conferred by Mr. Kenneth Mealy, President of RCSI. I now declare open the conferring ceremony for the award of degrees of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. I'd like to invite the candidates for the Institute of Leadership for Postgraduate Certificates, Postgraduate Diplomas and Masters of Science only to remain upstanding. And I invite Professor Hannah McGee, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of RCSI, to come to the lectern to lead you in the graduate declaration.
The RCSI Graduate Declaration, which you will recite together, is a commitment to the highest standards of professionalism and ethical practice in your career as taught during your studies here at RCSI. It gives me great pleasure on this special day of your conferring to invite all of the graduates of the Institute of Leadership, Postgraduate Certificates, Postgraduate Diplomas and Master of Science to recite together after me the declaration, which is located on page 10 in your conferring booklet. I acknowledge my position at the forefront of my field of learning and scholarship. I understand my responsibility to use this learning to contribute and lead in my community. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will maintain the confidential information that is entrusted in me. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing or any other factor to interfere with my duties in my chosen profession. I will not use my knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk and gladly share such knowledge with those that follow. I will promote high standards of practice, lifelong education and research in the interests of human health. I make these promises solemnly, freely and upon my honour. Thank you.
For the award of postgraduate diplomas from the Institute of Leadership, if the graduates for postgraduate diplomas from the Institute of Leadership only could remain standing, Pre Honorabilis Cancellariae, totaque universitas, presento vobis hasmeas filias et osmeas filios, quas omni si tam moribus, quam doctrina habilis aeneas esse que admittor ad diploma post baccalaureatum in sanitatis cura tractanda etc. idique tibi fide mea testor expondeo totaque academiae. I now invite the Chancellor of the National University of Ireland to admit your graduates.
Ego auctoritatem mihi concessa admitto vos ad diploma post baccalaureatum in sanitatis cura tractanda etc.
I now invite the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland to admit the graduates.
By virtue of my office of President, I admit you graduates of the Postgraduate Diploma.
Dr. Elaine Byrne, Interim Academic Director of the Institute of Leadership at RCSI, will come to the lectern to call forward individual graduates.
I will now call on each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. In Healthcare Management, Warren Barry in absentia, Rishma Kakatuchalil, in Leadership, Lorraine Gildia, Vincent Jordan, Aisling Riest, in Quality and Safety in Healthcare Management, Catherine Fury, Jean Lannon, Niamh McKeown, in Clinical Leadership, Danielle Divili, Aveen Curley, Emer Lottie, Sarah Maloney, and Katrina Ryan in absentia.
For the award of the degree of Master of Science, would the candidates for the degree of Master of Science please be upstanding? Pre honorabilis cancellariae, totaque universitas, presento vobis has meus filios et os meus filios, quosam temoribus quam doctrina habiles et uneos esse quae admittor ad graduam magisteria scientiae, idique tibi fide meo tester, expondeo totaque academiae. I invite the Chancellor of the National University of Ireland to admit the graduates. I invite the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland to admit the graduates.
By virtue of my office of President, I admit you graduates of the Master of Science.
Dr. Elaine Byrne, Interim Academic Director of the Institute of Leadership at RCSI, will now introduce the individual graduates.
I will now call on each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. Mohammed Al-Zahir. Wissam Al-Baidir. Raghid Al-Kurdi. Linda Caulfield. Regina Connell. Miriam Kaur. Linda Curran. Anya De Vallis. Maria Dumsa. Elizabeth Dwyer. Jennifer Finnegan. Louise Fitzpatrick. Imam Hassanin. Sarah Hurley. Neve Joyce. Margaret Keaveney. Kieran Larmer. Sinead Leonard. Mary McCallum. Lorraine McManus. Hannah Mohandas, Yvonne Maloney, Philip Mulholland, Matthew O'Toole, Archana Satsihara Nair, Christian Schale, Laurentina Schaller, Michael Toohey, and for healthcare management in Bahrain, Safia Al-Aljalan. Healthcare Management Dubai, Noura Al-Qasemi. Noura Al-Shashay. Bayan Dawood Al-Mohammed. Aishat Rahila in absentia. In leadership, Anna Boch. Fiona Brennan. Carol Cotter. Brenda Farrell. Anne Flynn. Sinead Fox. Emer Gleeson. Victoria Graham. Paul Harding. Alison Harper, Deirdre Holland, Mairead Holland Flynn, Mary Jayashandran, John Kelly, Smita Matthew, Sheila McCrory, Ita McDonough, Anne McIntyre, Siobhan Nivrian, Eileen O'Toole, John Owens, Dunca Ryan, Sandra Shea, Pádraig Sheeran, Margaret Sullivan, Elizabeth Tully, and for quality and safety in healthcare management, Sherry Batista, Shirley Cronin, Mary Deering, Fanula Dore, Owen Doyle, Maria Flaherty, Yvonne Flanagan, Anne Hammersley, Michelle Howard, Jennifer Hussey, Susan Keane, Avril Lark, Caroline Lynch, Mary McGroarty, Emma McVeigh, Sarah Moynihan, Katrina Murphy, Katie O'Byrne, Siobhan Ryan Enright, Figi Savio, Paul Thornhill, Mairead Tuhig, Tracy Wall, Maria Walsh, For quality and safety in healthcare management in Dubai, Sumaya Abdullah Ali Ahmad Al Marzuki. For loss and bereavement, this is a joint award between the Institute of Leadership, RCSI, and the Irish Hospice Foundation. I now call the following graduates to come forward. Carrie Dillon. Adrian Galligan. Finola McMahon. Aoife Malloy. Mary Maroney. Chipo Moyo in abstention. Maria Reardon Trench. Emma Rogers. In abstention. Rita Margaret Swan. Deborah Tarleton. Janet Tobin Martin. Fiona Tuomi. Victoria Walsh. Sharon Whelan. And that concludes the conferment of the Masters of Science for the Institute of Leadership.
For the award of the degree of Master of Pharmacy, would the graduates for the degree of Master of Pharmacy please be upstanding as I invite the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of RCSI, Professor Hannah McGee, to lead you in the Graduates' Declaration.
The RCSI Graduate Declaration, which you will recite together, is a commitment to the highest standards of professionalism and ethical practice in your career as taught during your studies in RCSI. It gives me great pleasure on this special day of your conferring to invite all of the Masters of Pharmacy graduates to recite together after me the declaration which is on page 11 of your conferring booklet. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first concern. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will remember that there is art to my profession as well as science, and that warmth, empathy, and understanding may outweigh treatment alone. I will respect the confidential information that is entrusted in me even after a patient has died. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will not use my professional knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk and gladly share such knowledge with those that follow. I will abide by the code of conduct of my profession in pharmacy, and I will promote high standards of practice, lifelong education, and research in the interests of human health. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. Thank you.
If the graduates for the degree of Master of Pharmacy MPharm could remain standing, Pre Honorabilis Cancellariae, Totaque Universitas, Prosento Vobis Hasmeus Filios et Osmeus Filios, quos omne si tam moribus, quam doctrina habiles et aeneus esse quae admitter ad graduum magisterii in pharmacia, idique tibi fide mea testor, expondeo Totaque Academiae. I now invite the Chancellor of the National University of Ireland to admit the graduates.
Ego auctoritate mihi concessa, admitto vos ad gradum magisterii in pharmacia.
I invite the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland to admit the graduates.
By virtue of my office of President, I admit you graduates of the Master of Pharmacy.
Dr. Matthew Lynch, National Pharmacy Intern Programme Director from the School of Pharmacy and Biomedical Sciences at RCSI, will now come to the lectern to introduce the graduates.
I will now call on each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. Victor Atui. Emma Beggs. Fiona Bolger. Dennis Breen. Clodagh Burgess. Kate Burke. Killian Byrne. Kevin Callaghan. Emma Casey. Aoife Clancy. Niamh Clifford. Philip Cooney. Maud Cosgrove. Ruth Court. Jessica Coyne. Conor Cray. Emer Cronin. Timothy Cronin. Megan Cullen. Fiona Cunningham. Lucy Dawson. Emer Devine. Michael Delan. Iarla Doherty. Rachel Dowling, Brona Duff, Lucy Dwyer, Efeome Ebonwanyi, Rebecca Edgar, Robin Esmond, Michaela Farley, Ursula Feeney, Carl Finucane, Donica Fitzgerald, Sarah Fitzpatrick, Sean Flanagan, Shane Fruin, Grania Fullen, Niamh Galvin, Caroline Gall, Jessica Gibson, Ruth Gillen, Laura Gleeson, Aveen Golden, Jessica Gordon, Leisha Gordon, Nicola Gray, Jessie Handley, Emer Harrington, Dermot Hart, Bernadette Hayes, Eamon Hennelly McCarthy, Andrew Higgins, Shane Hill, Ellen Holmes, John E. Hughes, Laura Hines, Sarah Jessup, Abdurraf Kasuri, in absentia, John Keane, Sinead Keenan, Sarah Kelly, Kevin Cohan, Nick Lahart, Stephanie Leahy, Megan Lennon, Sarah Lennon, Janelle Logan Lane, Alyssa Luby, Monica Lukosevicute, Mark Lynch, Leanne Manton, Stephen Mannion, in absentia, Holly Matthews, Sarah McCarthy, Avril McCormick, Claire McCormick, Aisling MacDonald, Porrick McGrath, Shane McGuinness, Aoife McHugh, Emer McHugh, Tara McMahon, Aisling McPhillips, Emily Megan, Jessica Miller, Emer Malloy, Sean Malloy, Eamon Monaghan, Catherine Mulcahy, Catherine Mulvooney, Anya Mulvaney, Shane Murphy, Shannon Nally, Mobina Naz, Olivia Nicogley, Emer Ní Gilligan, Tomás Ó Hustin, Adrian O'Brien, Karina O'Brien, Peter O'Brien, Maura O'Connell, Amy O'Connor, Martina O'Connor, Killian O'Donovan, Hazel O'Donovan, Michaela O'Donovan, Bridget O'Flynn, Jennifer Ramey O'Flynn, Mairead O'Gorman, Niamh O'Leary, Molly O'Mahony, Maria O'Rourke, Joseph O'Shea, Antoinette O'Sullivan, Blonid Patton, Callum Quinn, Anna Riley, Ailey Rogers, Maren Roman, Kevin Ryan, Kevin Patrick Ryan, Maeve Ryan, Maria Asimina Sari, Louise Scannell, Faiza Safran, Shannon Sheehan, Alice Smith, Quiva Smith, Jessica Spain, Josephine Taki, Tom Trench, Clodagh Victory, James Walsh, Seamus Walsh, Sinead Walsh, Stephen Walsh, Ty Quelan, Joseph White, Jennifer Whitney, That concludes the conferment of Master of Pharmacy for the School of Pharmacy and Biomolecular Sciences.
Pre honorabilis cancellariae, totaque universitas, ceremonies rite confectis, queso facias finem, huius convocationis universitariae. That completes the NUI conferring ceremony.
Congratulations to all our new graduates. At this point, we now proceed to the conferring of the award of Honorary Doctorate of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. I would invite our Honorary Doctorate recipient, Dr. David Ansell, to take his place to the front of the stage for the commencement of the Honorary Doctorate Award. RCSI established an Honorary Doctorate Award in 2011 to recognise excellence and to provide inspiration to you, our students, on your special graduation day. The awardees are exceptional people who've made a difference to the world through education, research or service. We as RCSI staff believe that you, our graduates today, will also make a difference for good in the world. And we want, through hearing their stories and their words, to inspire and to challenge you on this special day to make a difference. I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of RCSI, Professor Hannah McGee, to introduce the Honorary Doctorate Awardee, Dr. David Ansell, Associate Provost for Community Affairs at Rush University, the Michael Kelly Presidential Professor of the Department of Internal Medicine at Rush Medical College, Senior Vice President for Community Health Equity at Rush University Medical Center, Chicago. The doctorate will be awarded by the President of RCSI, Mr. Kenneth Mealy.
President, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our candidate for the RCSI Honorary Doctoral Award, Dr. David A. Ansell. Dr. David Ansell is Senior Vice President and Associate Provost for Community Health Equity and the Michael E. Kelly Presidential Professor of Internal Medicine at Rush University Medical Center, Chicago. Dr. Ansell graduated in medicine from the State University of New York at Syracuse in 1978 and completed his medical training at Cook County Hospital, Chicago, as an internal medical resident before being appointed Chief of the Division of General Internal Medicine in 1992. From 1995 to 2005, he was Chairman of Internal Medicine at Mount Sinai, Chicago. He was then recruited to Rush University Medical Center as its inaugural Chief Medical Officer in 2005, a position he held until his current appointment in 2015. For the duration of his career, Dr. Ansell's research and advocacy has focused on eliminating health inequalities and raising concerns about the US healthcare system. In 1984, during his time at Cook County Hospital, Dr. Ansell founded one of the first programs in the US to battle race-based disparity in healthcare, called the Breast and Cervical Cancer Screening Program. It was also during this time that he and his colleagues noticed a significant increase in the number of patients transferred to public hospitals due to their lack of health insurance, a practice that became referred to as patient dumping. Dr. Ansell's contribution to an article in the New England Journal of Medicine in February 1986 called Transfers to a Public Hospital and his testimony before the US Congress eventually led to the US Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act that makes these emergency transfers of patients illegal. During his time at Mount Sinai Hospital, Dr. Ansell continued to advocate for equitable and fair healthcare opportunities, and in 2002 co-founded the Sinai Urban Health Institute. Their mission statement is a reflection of Dr. Ansell's passion for social justice. It says, "To achieve health equity amongst communities through excellence and innovation in data-driven research, interventions, evaluation, and collaboration." In 2006, he helped expose the racial breast cancer mortality gap in Chicago, and in response to this, assisted with the establishment of the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to the fight against breast cancer racial inequalities. More recently, in 2015, Dr. Ansell helped found the DePaul Rush Center for Community Health Equity, whose mission is, and I quote, "to improve community health outcomes and contribute to the elimination of health inequalities in Chicago." Dr. Ansell has written extensively about healthcare inequality in America. He published a memoir of his times at Cook County Hospital called County: Life, Death, and Politics at Chicago's Public Hospital. The book provides a social history of the hospital for over 3 decades, from the time that Dr. Ansell began his internship. It examines the healthcare provided to those unable to afford insurance, the politics involved in medical care, and the challenges encountered introducing new preventative medical programs. Dr. Ansell's latest book, called The Death Gap: How Inequality Kills, was published in 2017. 4 decades as a doctor serving the poorest in Chicago, he has first-hand knowledge of the death gap, summed up as the gap in life expectancy between the wealthiest and the poorest. He speaks of, bigger than the war on cancer is the toxic stress of poverty and racial disparity. He emphasizes the importance of treating inequality as if it were an epidemic, and speaks of the structural violence of racial, economic, social, and political discriminatory structures woven into the fabric of our society that fuel racial and economic segregation and the growth of inequality. He believes we can all become agents for change, to join together and to take social responsibility for public policies regarding health and healthcare, community structures, employment opportunities, and education. Dr. Ansell is a supporter for the creation of an equitable, universal healthcare system based on the idea that health is a right, not a commodity, and he urges that all healthcare professionals see their responsibility to be advocates for the human rights of their patients wherever they work. David, you are a physician, a social epidemiologist, a human rights activist, an author, and a champion for social justice. We are delighted to welcome you to RCSI today, and we are very proud that you, as a most worthy candidate, have joined our special graduation ceremony to accept the highest academic honour of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, the Honorary Doctorate in Science, and I have pleasure in calling on the President of RCSI, Mr. Kenneth Milley, to make the award.
President, it gives me great pleasure to award you with an Honorary Doctorate of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. You get to sign it this time.
It now gives me great pleasure to invite the RCSI Honorary Doctorate, Dr. David Ansell, to address our graduates, staff and guests.
Thank you. That was a terrific introduction. My father would have loved it, and my mother would have believed it. Thank you, Professor Kelly, President Mealy, and Dean McGee, the faculty of RCSI, Chancellor, and most of all, the graduates. I want to pause for just a second and note the parents and family members in the room. They smiled at your first burp. They encouraged you all along through all these years, and they're likely to spring for dinner tonight. So let's give them a big applause for the parents. I'm honored to be here today and to receive the Honorary Doctorate from the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and to celebrate this commencement with all of you. Who better to invite to Dublin in November than a physician from Chicago, where it was -8 degrees when I left, and it's downright balmy here. I've been sweating ever since I got here. In the time-honored tradition of graduation speakers, I will adhere to the 3 B's of speech-making. Be sincere, be brief, and be seated. A career in healthcare is among the highest callings a man or woman can achieve, whether as a clinician or administrator. It's right up there with the rituals of the priesthood, the study of law, and the winning of the Eurovision Song Contest. What an honor it is to serve. And if you think about it, there's only there's 2 times in your life you take a public oath. One is when you get a degree in healthcare, and the other time is when you get married. And only one of them is permanent. But it's an amazing profession to be able to give back to our patients and our communities, to be part of professions, whether clinician or administrators, that have at its core to treat the sick, ease suffering, and where possible, save lives, and have patients at the center of our work. 41 years ago, I graduated medical school, and I began my internship at Chicago's Cook County Hospital, which is the public hospital in Chicago. I was the lowest guy on the food chain there, trying to learn all the critical pieces of medicine that somehow eluded me in medical school. I remember my first patient presented with an illness that I was not familiar with. I had not learned about that disease in medical school. It was almost as if it wasn't even in the textbooks. I felt as if I was tossed into the deep end of the pool. I thrashed, I splashed. It was sink or swim, and I did a little bit of both. To say that I was scared that first week on my first job as a professional would be an understatement. I was bloody terrified. And I'm sure it'll take all of you a while to be comfortable in your new roles, using the skills that you've learned in professional school to apply to real-world life and death situations. And while I might not have known or remembered all the details about every disease, what was abundantly clear was that my professors trained me so I had the skills to navigate the responsibilities of the profession, and so have yours. Our professional training is never designed to equip us with all the knowledge necessary to tackle the complex problems we will face in a career in healthcare. But the good training you have received at RCSI has provided the structure, the methodology, and the approach to solve problems. Over time, with repetition, with feedback, we move from competence to expertise to mastery in our fields. But there is a skill set that most of us have never been trained on in health science graduate school, and that skill is speaking up. Have you ever heard of the expression, "What you tolerate, you promote"? It derives from the patient safety literature, and it means that if we grow to tolerate unsafe conditions or behaviors in the workplace and do not challenge them, we are promoting them, and we'll get used to them. Think about last month, 10,000 people on trolleys in emergency rooms in Ireland. So this idea that we tolerate things and we promote them is critical to quality and safety. We spend most of our careers as followers in a chain of command. All of us start at the bottom, like I did, and over time work our way up. We do this by keeping our heads down, focusing on our work, building our confidence, and being a good team player. However, in the complexity of healthcare, things will go wrong. The wrong medicine is given. A patient delay causes harm. An administrative decision harms a patient. Most of our professional training assumes that things generally go right, and they do. But are you prepared to speak when things go wrong? I want to tell you about my first day on call in 1978. It was a Saturday. I was on a ward in Cook County Hospital. I was as green as you could get, and it was time for lunch. And I'm walking down the hall, and I peek into a room, and there's an old woman. She's sitting on a chair, sleeping, her mouth wide open in what we called the O sign. And I had a funny feeling about that woman, but I was new, I was inexperienced, and she wasn't my patient. So I went to the cafeteria, and in the cafeteria I got paged back, cardiac arrest, Ward 24, ran back to the ward, and that was that woman. My inkling was correct. She was in distress and she needed help, but I didn't stop. I didn't trust my gut. How confident are you that you can raise a safety concern if you're suspicious of one? In my experience, most of us, like I did on that day in 1978, stay silent when we face an unsafe condition or face something where our gut tells us one thing, but we're not sure. We tolerate these conditions for at least 3 reasons. First, we do not believe we have the right to speak about the conditions because we're too inexperienced or too junior. Second, because speaking up has not been an active piece of training or practice, we tend to auto-censor ourselves and stay silent so as not to embarrass ourselves. And third, we sometimes worry that if we speak up, this could damage our careers or our relationships with our superiors. So we learn to tolerate. And what we tolerate, we promote. This is true in our personal life and relationships. It's true in our work lives, in our relationships with coworkers, subordinates, and our bosses. It's true in our professional lives and our work with our patients. And it's true in our political lives and our relationships to our government and agencies. How can you move from student to professional life and ensure you won't be one of those folks who simply tolerate the status quo and, when necessary, speak up? On a Toyota assembly line, if there's a defect in an automobile, the production line worker is required to stop the line by pulling a cord. It's called an Anden cord. It's a well-established quality control mechanism. The cord is a way to alert others on the team of issues on the production line. Everyone from the supervisor to the newest, greenest worker on the line has the authority, in fact, the responsibility, to pull the cord. Pulling the cord immediately stops production and broadcasts a signal, alerting others on the team that there is a critical issue that needs an immediate response. It reflects a culture, which we often do not have in healthcare, that is willing to invest a great amount of respect in the wisdom of the front lines. Have you been trained on pulling the cord? About stopping the line when there is a concern? Will you be brave enough to be intolerable of defects, especially when a patient is at risk? You will all enter workplaces where the overarching structures and financing of the health system or the operations of the unit will create conditions that you might find to be troubling and perhaps unsafe. You might be asked to tolerate conditions that are detrimental to patient care, because that's the way we've always done it here. So how can we overcome the heavily ingrained compulsion to stay silent? I'll leave you with 3 recommendations. Number 1, make a vow that no matter what, you will keep the patient and their family at the center of what you do and speak on their behalf as if they were a member of your family, just like your oath said. See, we have a higher power. It's the oath we take. 2, make the care of those who become marginalized in our societies your priority. Be the voice for the voiceless. And 3, vow when you see something wrong, you will say it, that you will be brave enough to stop the line when your moment comes, and I guarantee you, it'll come. The profession needs all of you, not just for the superb technical skills and degrees that you've received today reflect, but for something even more, your intolerance of defects, your willingness to speak up. Don't be silent. Our patients' health depends on it. Good luck in your careers, and thank you.
Dr. Ansell, thank you very much for your very wise words, very human words, and your great call for advocacy. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome to the lectern the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, Mr. Kenneth Mealy.
Thank you, Cathal. Chancellor NUI, Registrar NUI, Chief Executive RCSI, Dean RCSI, academic staff, ladies and gentlemen, our new Honorary Doctorate, David Ansell, and especially all of you receiving postgraduate certificates and diplomas and degrees of Master in Pharmacy and Master of Science. It is truly my pleasure to preside over this conferring ceremony and welcome you and your families here today. This ceremony is a fitting recognition of the hard work and commitment that you have shown in your studies and training over the last number of years. I think all of the platform party, the academic staff of RCSI, understand the academic commitment and focus required to be awarded an RCSI postgraduate certificate, diploma or degree. These awards of RCSI are prestigious, internationally recognised qualifications, Holding one of these qualifications demonstrates to colleagues, peers and employers a doctor or a scientist or a pharmacist's clinical and technical skills and commitment to his or her profession. These qualifications also recognise your ability to use your intellectual knowledge and critical thinking in the clinical, laboratory and administrative settings, skills that will be vital if you're to have a successful professional career which lies ahead. Your qualifications also open up a world of wonderful opportunity as you set out on an exciting journey of lifelong discovery, which will allow you to continue your training or practice in various specialties worldwide. We also hope that the education you've received in RCSI will instill in you a sense of curiosity, not only about pharmacy, medicine and the health sciences in general, but also the world at large. And it is this which will not only enrich your life, but allow you to contribute to society in a more meaningful way. Today, we also acknowledge your families who have supported you during your years of training and practice. We understand those who have made sacrifices to support your career and rightly are very proud of your achievements today. The health sciences, however, face many challenges, and it is certain that all of you will work in increasingly complex healthcare environments where you will need to use all the skills that you've gained during your training. Doctors, nurses and pharmacists of the future will need to be adaptive to the constant expansion of medical and scientific knowledge, changes in technology, increased patient and societal expectations, in addition to regulatory change, all of which require a commitment to lifelong learning and an ability to adapt to the changing world that we live in. The awards presented here today will give you a solid foundation to continue on this exciting journey. And to support you in such journeys and manage the challenges all healthcare professionals face, we would not only encourage you to maintain the strong links that you now have with RCSI, but would also encourage you to form close bonds with those you work with. Increasingly, there will be an emphasis on team working, which requires the ability to communicate effectively, demonstrate leadership, and acquire an understanding of the workings of the management and administrative systems in which you work. Into the future, professional and ethical issues facing health science professionals will only increase as the scientific and medical complexity within the world we live in becomes even more complex. A major challenge for all of us in the health sciences is the erosion of truth and the propaganda of so-called alternative facts to support various social and political agenda. And it is up to our professions to advocate for true facts as we understand them to a sceptical public. For instance, social policies supporting vaccination programs, rebuttal of medical treatments that lack a scientific or rational basis, and tackling global warming can only be unequivocally addressed in this manner. And I do not think it's alarmist to highlight the increasingly apparent profound effects that global warming will have on human health, particularly in the low and middle income countries. These are just a few of the examples where we need clear leadership from the medical and scientific community. It is also becoming increasingly apparent that no healthcare system can fully support all the healthcare needs of society. So it is important to be an advocate for not only each patient you may encounter, but it is also important to understand the broader societal needs in the communities you will work in and use the resources at your disposal carefully. Despite the challenges facing science and the health sciences throughout the world, the basis of all patient care is empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. And unfortunately, the commercialisation of medicine, the medical legal environment and new IT technologies can hinder expressions of empathy and harm the relationship we all have with our patients. However, empathy, as Dr. Ansell has said, must form the basis of all our practice, even when working in difficult circumstances, and it is this which makes the professions we represent so rewarding. Today is also a time to acknowledge the commitment of the teachers and trainers who taught and supported you over the last number of years. It is their endeavours which have given you the skills to practice and which will allow you to make a significant contribution to the well-being of the communities in which you will work. And for our visitors, as this may be your first contact with RCSI, you may be interested in understanding that RCSI constantly reflects on the healthcare needs of our society. RCSI has evolved from a college of surgeons established by Royal Charter by King George III in 1784 to be an independent, not-for-profit health science institution, which it is today, with schools of medicine, pharmacy, physiotherapy, postgraduate studies and an institute of leadership, and with faculties of postgraduate nursing and midwifery, dentistry, radiology, sports and exercise medicine, and an institute of pharmacy, in addition to a department of surgical affairs, all of whom promote continuing professional development within their disciplines. RCSI is the largest provider of health science education in Ireland, with approximately 4,000 students who come from Ireland and just under 60 countries from around the world. Our 19,000 alumni can be found in 100 countries worldwide. We have a medical and nursing school in Bahrain, an institute of leadership in Dubai, and 2 medical schools in Malaysia. Today, we graduate a total of 242 pharmacists, nurses and doctors with postgraduate certificates and diplomas and Master of Pharmacy and Master of Science degrees. RCSI is committing to developing healthcare leaders who make a difference worldwide, and this is our ambition for you as you join our other alumni who work worldwide. So finally, let me congratulate again all our graduates and acknowledge the support of your families. I wish you every success in your personal and professional lives, and I'm confident that the awards you receive today will equip you well for the challenges you will encounter in your further training and future careers. Thank you.
Thank you, President. It now gives me pleasure to invite the Chancellor of the National University of Ireland, Dr. Maurice Manning, to address us.
President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland, registrars, deans, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, but most of all, you, our new graduates. As Chancellor of the National University of Ireland, I'm delighted to be here in the Convention Centre for this afternoon's conferring ceremony. At this ceremony, we have conferred almost 300 qualifications to graduates of postgraduate programs, on top of over 400 students in this morning's session. So I don't want to shake hands with anybody else for the rest of the day, but it's wonderful to be here for these ceremonies. The connection between NUI and RCSI goes back to 1977 and has strengthened greatly since then. We in the NUI greatly value RCSI's continued membership of the wider NUI Federation, and we commend RCSI for its continued expansion of programs at undergraduate and postgraduate levels, its international reach, its basic applied and clinical research activities, and last but certainly not least, its dedication to student services, including unparalleled teaching, study and clinical facilities in a growing number of premises in Dublin and in campuses overseas. So on behalf of the university, I'm delighted to welcome into our ranks those of you being conferred here today with master's degrees in pharmacy and those being conferred with a range of Master of Science and Postgraduate Diploma specialisms. So my warmest congratulations to all of you. For our new pharmacists, your intensive and demanding programme of study is necessary to prepare for a highly responsible role in society. Here in Ireland and elsewhere, pharmacists are being afforded a broader range of responsibilities in the healthcare system, particularly as ageing populations and growing chronic diseases put more pressure on healthcare system capabilities, highlighting the need for more sophisticated solutions at primary care levels. Pharmacists play a critical role here. Increasingly, you will be called upon to become involved in the front line of healthcare delivery, and your particular contribution will be valued for being accessible and cost-effective. This expanded role would not have been possible without the developments in education and professional training that we have seen in recent years and in which RCSI has played a key role. Those of you who will leave here to work in the pharmaceutical industry, and thankfully still such a strong sector here in Ireland, you will make an equally important contribution to our healthcare. The commitment to excellence and innovation that RCSI fosters in all of its students are the very qualities that have underpinned the phenomenal success of this country as a global player in drug research, development and production. I have no doubt that you, our new graduates, will contribute handsomely to further advances in this field. I extend my congratulations also to those of you who have graduated from the Institute of Leadership. The expansion of programs offered by this institute and the number of graduates reflect the need for the building of leadership capacity within healthcare organisations, and RCSI's capacity to cater for this dynamic need in an agile yet highly qualified and sustainable way. For the families and friends, as has been mentioned already, for those of you here, this conferring ceremony is a very special occasion. In various ways, you have supported our new graduates. You have contributed to their wonderful achievements. I know that they appreciate all the help and encouragement you have given them, and has been mentioned, this is your day for celebration also. May I have a special word of congratulations to RCSI's newest honorary graduate, Dr. David Ansell of Rush University in Chicago. David, I have to say we are greatly impressed and humbled by what we have learned today of your lifetime of achievement spanning various branches of medicine, including, but certainly not limited to, community medicine. I am particularly struck by your commitment to the achievement of greater equality and fairness in the US healthcare system, which is a very noble ideal and one very difficult of attainment. But I have to say that listening to you this evening, your humanity, your dedication, your love of what you do, and your commitment to it shine through every word you said. And it was a great privilege and a great pleasure and honour for us to have had you here today and to have listened to your very wise words. Now, at this stage, I'm going to do something which will annoy everybody behind me. I'm going to tell a little personal story that I've told at each of the conferrings so far, which they know off by heart by now. But you come first. Their feelings don't really matter. But you might think that conferring degrees is a fairly safe occupation, that nothing untoward will ever come of it. And I thought so too. I've been doing it for 10 years now. But last week, I met a former student of mine from UCD who told me my photograph was on Tinder. Now, I didn't know what Tinder was. My family told me I was far too old to be even thinking about it. But I discovered, anyway, that my photograph was there, is there still probably. And the reason is that one of the graduates of last year sent in her graduation photograph to Tinder. I'm standing there beside her. Now, whatever Tinder does, it hasn't done for me yet. But I just would ask you, any of you who are thinking of sending in your graduation photograph, please include the side that the president of RCSI was on. He's much better at this sort of thing than me. Finally, I just want to congratulate the president of RCSI, all of the staff, their colleagues in the pharmaceutical industry, for really another happy and joyous conferring ceremony, which everybody who is here has enjoyed and which is totally appropriate to the great achievements that this represents for all of you. So I want to wish you all the very best of luck in your career. Hope you will have happy memories, I know you will, of your time at RCSI, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. That concludes the RCSI conferring ceremonies. It remains for me to once again congratulate our new graduates. We're really proud of what you've achieved. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank both our professional and academic staff in the Institute of Leadership and the School of Pharmacy and Biomolecular Sciences for their contribution to your education. I'd also like to invite you, our graduates, and your guests to join us for a reception outside the auditorium. And if I could finally please ask you to be upstanding for the outward procession. Thank you.